Where did it start from? I don't know who knows where it started from, but I know it was about Adekunle and Sheggz. So let me start with you, Sheggz. What was it about that situation? What exactly happened?
Obviously, you acknowledged that he wrote a newsletter. I think in his newsletter he basically said everything that your faves are doing is sponsored by Pepsi.
Why?
I don't need to act like I have so much money, but bro, I'm not being sponsored. This coming out of my pocket.
So what was your reaction to that?
I basically tweeted that Bbnaija as well.
And I think I was part of the first set of people to leave the club. So when I put out the newsletter and I saw the Azul issue, honestly I was confused because I didn't even know there was an Azul situation.
So when you saw the reaction to it, what did you think? Because I mean, everybody can be wrong, right?
Yeah.
It seemed to everybody, and even I guess some of the housemates, that you were throwing shade at people. Cut to straight bullets, checks, cut to so it was like you were literally directing things at people. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, but at the back of my mind,
So when you saw the reaction to your newsletter, what did you think?
I think I couldn't make sense of it because I wasn't talking to anybody.
Apparently, you said some shots for some people in the newsletter.
No, but you know, the issue, can I be fair? Right?
Yeah.
The issue that I have with this whole newsletter drama is it happened last year in another country. This is almost a year after and it's coming back again. We were all in the same environment. Christy Pope.
Guys, so I've learned something new. If you talk for internet, now there you go collect. Bella will not kill me. Like, seriously, guys. Welcome to another episode. My name is Zainab. This is Reunion Day 2 recap. Yesterday's show was actually interesting. I enjoyed it. So many things happened. EBUKA talked about Daniela Akali Dandotu's situation, talked about Chi and Deji's situation in South Africa. Apparently something happened in South Africa. Let's get that right. Then that newsletter saga by Adekunle, the newsletter he released. Now, I mean, this is the highlight for me. Like, Adekunle was lying. Like, obviously, come on, guy. You wrote a newsletter. Like, you wrote it, and in that newsletter you wrote a lot of things. You wrote that people were going, all people knew was going live, but all you knew was how to live life. That's a shade. Like, let's not even mince words. That's a complete shade. You also went ahead to write that every flex the housemates have posted on Max and Jack's internet, the trip has, during the trip, has been sponsored by Pepsi. Don't let anyone use fake life to deceive you. Everything in capital letter, that's what he wrote. Come on. Now they're asking you and you're saying it's not a shade. Now. Like, if you want to say something, be ready to back it up. And on the show, that's on the at the reunion, he was saying that it was not a shade, that if he wanted to stop anybody, he would have at that person with his full chest. Adekunle Olokpade. Come on now. This was clearly a shade to all the housemates, and specifically to Sheggz, because I think that's the previous night, there was this whole Azul saga and all of that. So, I mean, people were just raving crazy on the internet because of the Azul. And you went the next day to write a newsletter about how all the flex the housemates are doing in SA is fake. Like, don't let anybody use fake life to deceive you. Like, that's a complete shade. Like, everybody, come on now, that's a complete shade, guys. You cannot tell me that wasn't a shade. And of course, Sheggz caught this up because, I mean, he was the one that was trending for the whole Azul thingy. So he definitely caught, you were talking to him. So there's no point lying. Everybody knew that he was talking to him. I mean, it's very possible. Let's look at it from this angle. It's very possible that he wasn't talking to him, right? But he was definitely subbing people. Like, let's get that right. He was subbing people. So he cannot come now and say that you were not subbing people, that you were just saying it. That's a complete lie. That's being a coward. That's being dishonest. That's being a liar. No. But come to think about it, like me, I didn't even expect him to kind of accept the fact that he was shading people. Then in his defense, he said if anybody caught up, that they would have walked up to him to ask him. Wow. If you had any problems with anybody, you would have walked up to the person to ask the person. Simple, like simple and like plain simple. So this was where Bella now came in. So she was like that was a clear shade. That Azu at that time was like trending all over Twitter. Who bought Azu, and who bought Azu? And clearly it was Sheggz that bought Azu at that time. So you now came out at that time as well to release the newsletter, like released it, and you said every flex. Azu is not a flex. Azu is a flex. That's not something you buy every day. It's a flex, definitely. So you came out and said, every flex house is a fake. Like people should not use fake life to deceive you. Come on now. Like I doff my heart for Bella. Like she puts it clearly for him that if you talk for internet, now there you go collect that. We don't expect people to come and meet you. Like if anybody comes to meet you, fine, but not that you expect people to come and meet you. So he was like, oh, it was only Christio that came to meet him, that, what's happening. That's fine. Christio has power to go and meet you, but some other people do not have power to meet you. They would respond to you on the internet where you release the newsletter. Simple. Another thing that also happened at the reunion was Farm Savvy and Elo Swag's issue. So apparently Farm Savvy and Elo Swag were roommates during the lockdown before they got into the Big Brother house. So of course now, if you're roommates, you definitely have built a bond, some sort of friendship and all of that. So that aside, when they got into the house, the whole level thing, and Farm Savvy was in, I think, level 2. I mean, yeah, they were in different levels anyway, and they had to put up if one level wins, the level has to put up the other level up for nomination and all of that. So at that time, Elo Swag won head of house. So Farm Savvy in his head was like, oh, thank God that he's going to be free from nomination and not get evicted and all of that, because of course he knew Elo Swag was his roommate and all that. Lo and behold, when it was time to announce the nominated housemates, he heard his name and he was like, what's happening? So anyways, to cut the long story short, he said he felt betrayed. He feels that Elo Swag can actually poison him if they tell him to do that, because he expected more from him, and that basically he doesn't want to be his friend. But they are cool that it even had to take like an actress, a well-known actress, to kind of settle their drift. But that's bygone. Even Elo Swag's mom had to call him somehow. He didn't pick. That's what Elo Swag said. But at the end of the day, I think they're just just cordial. They are not friends, they are not enemies. But that's it, guys. Another thing that happened yesterday was the fact that something happened that's between Deji and Chichi in South Africa. Remember that time there was a lot going on that Deji was cheating or Chichi in South Africa. Then that was last year, but I mean that wasn't clear. But I think it's going to get clear in this reunion, because I mean it's like there's a lot of talk that happened. There's a lot of wahala that happened in South Africa. EBUKA also spoke about the whole Daniela Dotun and what's his name, Khalid situation. Asked them if it was awkward, spending time together in South Africa. And Daniela was like, that it wasn't, that they are cool, they've gone past it and all of that. But on the other hand, Dotun said it was awkward at first, but eventually they just had to live their lives. Khalid, on the other hand, he said he just felt normal, that nothing happened, that probably happened in his past life. I'm like, But anyways, that's it, guys. Then we have Doyin and Deji's situation. Doyin, Deji and Saif's situation. So apparently in the house, Doyin had probably talked down on Saif when he got evicted. She talked about him to Deji, and for that reason she said she was sorry, and that was very low of her to do, and that she had already apologized to Sai for, you know, saying some of the things that she said, which I absolutely loved. The fact that she admitted that she was wrong and she had already apologized. Like, they don't need to tell you you already apologized, which is fine. That's what I expected from Adekunle. But of course, I knew that it was not going to be easy as APC for him to come out and say, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I was subbing you. That's a very, very difficult thing to do. I mean, but anyways, guys, that's the end of reunion day 2. Drop your comments. What do you think? Do you think that Adekunle was shading? Do you think he was subbing people? Do you think he was subbing specifically Sheggz? Let me hear what you think in the comment section below. Like this video as well if you did like it. Subscribe if you like my video. Thank you so much. See you all in my next video. Bye bye.